What's up, everybody? I'm AJ.
And I'm Christy.
And welcome to In Love with Horror. This is our weekly Sunday live stream where we talk about horror news. If you're joining us live in the chat right now, we appreciate you joining. If you're watching on the replay, we appreciate you as well. Before we get into the news story, we're just going to wait for a little bit and let people join up and just chop it up a little bit. But hey, on when we watch it Friday, right?
Oh, yes.
On Friday, we wouldn't watch The Exorcism, y'all, because that, that's getting a lot of interesting discussions right now. Like, a lot of people don't like it, a lot of people like it. And we're actually divided on how we feel about it. So if you haven't seen our reviews or out of theater reaction on that, go on our channel and check that out for The Exorcism, because it's an interesting one, because we're kind of at odds on that one.
Yes. Hey, Mike. Good morning.
Mike, what up?
Hi, Nadia. Nadia is going to be on a panel with us with King Nikki TV on the 29th, I believe. So that's going to be dope. We're going to talk about horror, obviously. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking forward to that. Hey, Nikki. She's a Blade hater, as you can see, because she keeps picking at me. Blade ain't happening is what she said.
What? Wow. You can't put that bad juju on it like that. No, it's already got the bad juju. It don't need more.
She is putting the bad juju out there. And we're talking about Blade, so make sure you tune in for that conversation.
Yeah, we are talking about Blade later. That's one of our topics we'll be talking about today.
Yes, for sure. Evil Live, hey y'all,
What's
the fam. Thanks for tuning in. But yeah, so we're here to talk news today, y'all. So I hope y'all got snacks, because after this, Tyrone them was going live after us. So y'all might as well get some snacks, enjoy, sit back, relax, and enjoy an afternoon of horror.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole bunch of horror going on today. But yeah, we got a lot of different topics we're covering for horror news. There's a lot of different things that was going on this week. Again, this happens every Sunday. We do this live, y'all. So if you ain't subscribed, if you ain't following, make sure you tune in and are subscribed so you can see it and join us every Sunday live. And to our audio listeners, because we actually do get a few plays on our Spotify and Apple, shout out to y'all. This is it's a great way to, consume this information. It's just, you driving in the whip to work or whatever. You listen to it on Spotify. Make sure you follow us and review us on there. But we appreciate our audio listeners too.
Yeah.
And for our viewers on YouTube, this does go up on our podcast channels if you ever want to listen to it, while doing stuff. Got your AirPods in, you driving to work or whatever. But with that, we can go ahead and jump into
it.
Our first story, y'all, and it's all about Jordan Peele. You saw it on the thumbnail if you're on YouTube. Mm-hmm. He actually, posted the release date for the film, which I think was October 23rd, I believe. I don't know if this article actually has it in there, but if you look at his,
it's right there.
October 23rd, 2026. Now that's an interesting date because. Originally the movie was set for release on December of this year, actually.
Yes, so unfortunately.
That's almost a 2-year pushback, a 2-year delay.
Huge pushback.
And it's like such a massive pushback that it's like, man, it couldn't have been just the strikes alone that caused them to delay it almost 2 years. You know what I'm saying? But if you go back to earlier this year, Jordan Peele was on with Conan O'Brien, and he mentioned this about the project. He said, I do feel like my next project is clear to me, and he's psyched that he has another film that could be his favorite movie if he makes it right. So, every person's going to hype up their movie. It's not like, I don't know about this movie, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to hype it up. By the way, it's exciting that we got like a firm time frame. I hate that it's so far.
I know.
Because I always look forward to, Jordan Peele's next project. So it definitely sucks that it's that far, but at least we know it's coming. It's a long way away, but it's coming.
Mike said maybe he had an actor that got canceled and he had to reshoot. Hey, you never know.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. He could have somebody involved in it. Now, speaking of Jordan Peele, though, he is producing, because he's got his Monkey Paw Productions.
Yes.
And he's producing. I was trying to find an article, but here it is. It's at the bottom here. He's got that film called Him that's coming out next year, September 19th, and that's the one that's about.
That used to be called The Goat.
Yeah,
used to be called Goat.
It used to be called Goat, and it's the one with Marlon Wayans, where he's playing this, legendary quarterback who's got this like compound, and this rising, football star joins him at this compound. So I guess get training or whatever. But
right.
It obviously has some sort of weird horror spin to it.
Right. I think the key there is compound. Isolated compounds. Like, ooh, what's going down at this compound?
Yep. It's gonna. I mean, that's all the information they've given us on that film. But I'm sure it's gonna have some weird twist to it. I always said that it's gonna be like, this athlete is doing some weird shit. Maybe he's like sacrificing goats and doing weird stuff like that.
Right.
And like I'm sure that the football star, the rising one, is gonna end up like stumbling into like he gonna open the wrong door.
You never
shit.
know.
You know what I'm saying?
That sounds like about what it's gonna be like.
Yeah.
Nadia says I'm okay with it if it means getting more chances to perfect it. Agreed. I do want to. Because I feel like people look to Jordan Peele now, right? It's like to see how his movies are gonna be, and I want him to do well. I want him to have a really good movie. So I mean, as much as I want it to be out sooner, I'm fine with him taking the time he needs to make it as good as possible. Yep. They are remaking People Under the Stairs. Mike mentioned that, but so
I forgot about
that. Could be what the movie is. And that would be pretty dope.
That's a Monkey Paw remake.
Well, Jordan Peele is remaking it. So
like he's directing.
He's directing it. Yeah.
Oh shit! I thought he was just producing it, but damn. Okay, I'm cool with that.
That'll
be really
be
good.
Cool if that's what it is.
That's the perfect movie for him to remake. It fits his style perfectly.
Yes.
I'm with that.
Nikki TV. Wait, Marlon doing a serious role? Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he was serious in that one movie. Is it Air? I think it was called Air or something.
He's been in some other serious roles.
Yeah, he's done a couple other series. It's not that many, but I
can't tell you off the top of my head right in a second. But
he has done
more.
some.
Yeah.
I feel like he's extremely underrated as a dramatic actor. Yes, and he was in Dream. Yeah, he was in Dream too. But I feel like he's had a couple of serious roles that he's done good with.
Yeah, I feel like it surprises people, but comedians have like incredible range, especially if you think about the stories that they tell and stuff like that. Like, they've got the range to do it. The first one that always pops into my mind, just because they've been in so many films now that are serious, is Adam Sandler.
I know you was gonna bring him up.
Yeah, I mean, because he has so many. And Uncut Gems was fire. That movie was so dope.
Yeah,
I really like that movie.
Tyrone or Jaleesa or both. People Under the Stairs is going to take on a whole new undertones with Peele. I bet. Yes. I mean, I feel like he can do a lot with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's so much that you can take from it. I feel like he could do really well with that.
Yeah, he gonna modernize it.
Yep. And Nadia was just saying that, wondering if it would be modern times. I think that's the best way to take it, honestly. But yeah, whatever Jordan Peele put out on, we gonna be seated anyway, so I don't care what it is. Yep. Now, we did hear some rumors about. Now, I know these aren't true rumors, but some months ago he sat down with Marvel. He had a meeting with Marvel, but no one knows what the meeting was about. I think that one guy you listened to said this. I'm the one that always gives out rumors.
Which one?
The inside rumors.
Schneider.
Mm-hmm. He's the one that said this. And that they were trying to say, oh, maybe he's directing Blade. But I feel like if he was, wouldn't that be that
would be the kind of information they need to put out.
So
and we'll get into it. We'll talk about Blade later. But that would be the information that they would need to put out to get people motivated and give them hope about this movie. Because right now it's like, that shit isn't that good. You know what I'm saying? So that'd be the kind of news that we need to you can't keep that shit secret. Like, we got to know about it. So I don't think it's Blade just because of that fact. I don't either. Because they would try to win the people back. But hey, look, it's been fucked up. But we got it. Jordan Peele coming to direct Blade. People be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure that's not it. But,
yeah.
But yeah, y'all. So y'all let us know for our viewers and listeners on the replay. Let us know how you feeling about Jordan Peele's locked in date. Have you heard other rumors about what this film could be? Do you think he's directing Blade? I don't think so. But drop all that down in the comments in the chat. Now talking about release dates, we covered some updates last week when we were talking on the Sunday Live, but we had talked about Lee Cronin's got an untitled film that's coming in 2026, and that was the one with was that with Atomic Monster and Blumhouse, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That was an untitled one. I don't think there's even rumors of what he's covering, but Lee Cronin was the one that did Evil Dead Rise.
Some people 3C Films. He's the one that said this theory that he thinks it could be a nightmare film.
Oh, he did say that.
Yeah.
And that fits
that
him
would be
perfect.
So dope.
Lee Cronin directing nightmare film would be so dope.
Yeah.
And then of course we got a hard release date for Mike Flanagan's The Exorcist. That is now coming out March 13th, 2026. So thankfully we don't have to wait too long for that.
Still so
it's like
far.
It's we gotta wait like a year and a half and some change. Like, that's not too bad.
Oh, Nikki said, what's the release date for our film?
Well, we got a long time for that, but we gotta work our way up. We actually plan on doing like I'm gonna call it like a micro short.
Yeah.
Like like a 60-second or 2-minute short. We're gonna try filming something probably next month in July.
This summer, y'all, it's about to be lit.
It's gonna be micro short, but hopefully it'll work out. We're right now we're trying to figure out like how to do the monster, quote unquote. Once we figure that piece out, we'll be good. We'll be ready to go. But we got we got the script ready though. We already
same question to you, Nikki, as well.
Yeah.
She wants to make films too.
Hey, look, we need to go out there and make these films. Yo.
Yeah. Mike said 2026 is gonna pop off. It is though. Like we got some setups for some really good potential bangers. So.
Hey, 2026 is about to be crazy. And then one more film, and we're actually gonna talk about this one later. But Blumhouse announced a new film called Soulmate. That's going to be coming January 2nd, 2026. We're going to talk about that later, though, so I won't dive into that one.
Hey, Mr. Dan. Mr. Dan and Horror in the house.
Mr. Dan was good. Now, let's go ahead and jump into the next story, y'all. And this one is all about Nosferatu. So I'm sure y'all know that Nosferatu, the trailer, dropped in theaters in front of the movie The Bike Riders. So a lot of people were going, like horror fans at least, were going to watch The Bike Riders to see this trailer.
Yeah, because we didn't know nothing about no bike riders
we didn't.
until
And then she had looked it up, and she's like, yeah, I don't know if this would be our kind of movie, so we just chose not to go. Now, the trailer did leak online, but we avoided the leaks.
Yes.
I told her, because this is a movie we were like really hyped for, and I was like, man, fuck that. Like, I don't even want to watch like a recording of the screen. I want to experience this shit myself. Now, I told her, I was like, after it leaked, I was like, I bet you anything they're going to drop this trailer soon. Because once shit leaks, and this happens like with video games and shit like that, like when a trailer leaks, the companies don't want people to see the leak and then view it in bad quality, right? Like it's like you can't really hear it good or see it good. Mm-hmm. So I was like, man, they're going to drop this trailer. And sure enough, the trailer's now dropping on Monday.
Yes.
I'm so glad we waited because now we get to do a trailer reaction. So y'all best believe on Monday a trailer reaction is coming from Nosferatu because this is one we hyped for.
Very hyped, yeah.
Because, Robert Eggers, man, like that dude, he just makes just fire films. I love all of the films that he's made.
Yeah.
And I'm just really, really excited for Nosferatu because we got Bill Skarsgård's Nosferatu. We got Willem Dafoe in this. You see him in the screenshot. This is one we really hyped for. We didn't scroll too much further in this article because she said she scrolled a little bit and started to talk about the trailer.
And they started talking about the trailer.
Whoa!
I was like, wait a minute.
I want to go in blind. Like we don't know shit about the trailer. Like we haven't looked at no screenshots, no leaks, nothing. So Monday we'll give you our like true reaction to this shit. And it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I think so. I'm hype.
Yep. You got anything in the chat?
Oh no.
Before I kind of jump over. Okay.
Nope.
But yeah, y'all. So if you haven't watched the trailer yet, it's coming on Monday. Just wait till then. Don't watch the leaks. Just wait till then so you can watch it.
Avoid it at all costs.
And you know what? Like some companies do it. They put out the 4K trailer. I'm hoping that this is one of them.
Oh Lord.
They always,
you're
like
the only person I know that's like so hard on like something being in 4K.
Hey, because you want the best quality. Some people will drop trailers in 4K, but a lot of times they do it in 1080p. But hopefully Nosferatu can be a little different.
Yeah. King Nikki said, I haven't watched a trailer in a few years. Going in blind is the best. Yeah, we try our best to for the most part, but because we watch so many movies, a lot of times we get spoiled. Like I avoided Oddity trailer for weeks. I did not watch that trailer, and we went to go watch The Exorcism the other day, and they played it, and I was like, dang.
And we've also avoided the Long Legs trailer, but I guarantee before that movie comes out, we'll end up seeing it in the theater because you can't avoid it in the theater. Mm-mm. And we don't like, I don't like being late to a movie, so it's not a situation where I'm like,
no, he does not.
I'll just wait till the previews are done.
Miss the previews.
I like going to the previews. I like seeing the previews because when you watch a trailer on YouTube, the trailer hits different when you're sitting in the theater auditorium. It just hits different. Yeah. It sounds different. Like watching the Alien Romulus trailer in theaters, that shit was hard. It's different. But, we had mentioned Soulmate, which is a new Blumhouse film. Now let's talk in detail about this because this one, y'all, is kind of wild. So Soulmate is a new film in the Megan universe, and they're calling it a erotic thriller. Now it's dated again for January 2nd, 2026, and it's but it's being directed by Kate Dolan, who did You Are Not My Mother. Not familiar with that film, but y'all listen to this this description of this film. I'm gonna read it. Soulmate centers on a man who acquires an artificially intelligent android to cope with the loss of his recently deceased wife. The film's synopsis explains, in an attempt to create a truly sentient partner, he inadvertently turns a harmless love bot into a deadly soulmate. The film is described as being in the tradition of a 90s domestic thriller, but with a modern technological twist. That's interesting.
Yeah. It sounds like a book I probably read.
It does sound like something like a book that you would probably read, because I'm sure like it's gonna get spicy. They call it an erotic thriller.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be putting in work with this robot.
Oh Lord,
You know
I hope they don't do that.
It's erotic thriller. You gotta have a scene of him putting in work with his robot.
That's crazy.
You got to. But what I want to tell you what I did like though. I did like they said 90s domestic thriller, because I feel like the 90s had a lot of these like,
yeah.
you know.
Oh, you remember that one? Well, this one wasn't an erotic thriller, but do you remember that one movie with Robin Williams when he played the robot and that fell in love with the
AI,
daughter?
The AI movie? Was it called AI?
It might have been called that.
Oh no,
that was another movie.
Which one are you talking about?
Something else. I can't remember.
He's a robot.
Yeah.
What is that movie called? I think I know what you're talking about. I just don't remember what it was called.
And then so he wanted to be treated as like a human, and at the end, because he was in love with that one woman, she got old, so they both like passed away at the same time.
Okay.
Well, they cut him off.
I can't really remember.
Mike says it sounds similar to Tim. We never watched that one.
Oh,
the one with Georgina Campbell.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, we gotta watch that one.
I do want to watch that one because I heard that one dude was really crazy. I like stuff like that. But
yeah
it does sound
similar
to that, the concept.
Yeah, because obviously I think that one, he was just made to be like a servant or whatever. But this guy's making it with the intention of it being his wife
to replace.
Well, to replace his wife.
Yeah,
because he just couldn't handle the loss.
I think he was like, that sounds familiar. Yeah, it's an old movie. I'm pretty well. Obviously, it had Robin Williams in it. I just can't recall the name of it.
Now, Kate Dolan, who's directing this film, Soulmate, she also said, fundamentally, I view this film as an exploration of relationships and loneliness. Despite technological advances, there are endearing human truths we cannot escape, and I'm looking forward to delving into those depths. So it sounds like she's going to try to get a little deep with, exploring like humanity, love, and emotions and all that type of stuff. So
right. There was another movie similar too, but this one was with like something he was talking to, like a box.
Are you talking about Her? That was a Joaquin Phoenix one.
Oh, yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That movie was good too.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're getting a lot of these. There's a lot of these like AI.
Makes sense.
Type of, yeah, given the climate, like it makes sense. And then to do it in this like, it's funny that he's turning a love bot into it. So it's like he's, the intention for this robot, was for them to get freaky with it. But he's gonna use that as the base to, bring his wife back to life. It's gonna be interesting. I think it's definitely gonna fit in with today's times as, people get more into, social media and, disconnecting from physical like social interactions, and we got like parasocial relationships and all that shit. So like there's a lot they can dive into in relation to that. But it'll be interesting.
Nikki said, did you see the one where Ryan Gosling was in love with a blow up doll? I have never heard of that.
No, I don't think I saw that one.
What is the name of that movie?
That sounds interesting though.
Indeed, I've never seen that.
But to our viewers and listeners, let us know, are you excited for Soulmate? Again, they said it's in the Megan universe, so I'm going to assume that, maybe it's made by the same company that made Megan. Maybe they had other products. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
But that's coming again.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah. January 2nd, 2026. So we got a little bit of time, but, Megan was a hit, so they're going to make more Megan-related films. But this one apparently is going to take a more adult approach. Y'all let us know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
We'll jump into our next topic that we wanted to cover, and this is all about a new Stephen King adaptation. So Osgood Perkins, who got the Longlegs film that's about to drop, is going to do Stephen King's The Monkey with a February 2025 release date. And this is, I guess for all the Stephen King lovers, this is exciting. I'm not familiar with a lot of Stephen King's works. Apparently this is a short story in one of his collections. I'm not familiar with it. But again, Osgood Perkins, doing the hotly anticipated Longlegs. It's got it's gonna be produced by James Wan, and it's got the cast that includes Theo James, Tatiana Maslany, and Elijah Woods. They got a dope cast.
Yeah, it's a stacked cast.
Yeah, it's that alone is gonna get people excited. But if you're not familiar with the monkey, like I wasn't, they do got in this article the official synopsis for this film. So let me read that to y'all. And it reads, when twin brothers Hal and Bill discover their father's old monkey toy in the attic, a series of gruesome deaths starts occurring all around them. The brothers decide to throw the monkey away and move on with their lives, growing apart over the years. But when the mysterious deaths begin again, the brothers must reunite to find a way to destroy the monkey for good before it takes the lives of everyone close to them. Oscar Perkins, he made a comment about this film. Let me see if I can find it. He said something specific about the kind of movie this would be.
It's in the notes. I make notes for you to read them.
Well, yeah, I was trying to find it in the article because I'm sharing the screen, so I was trying to find it in the article as well. I can't find it.
It's right there. Scroll.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, she's talking about something. She does make notes to guide the conversation, but I think she forgot I'm sharing the screen, so I'm just trying to get on the screen too.
I'm just saying, but you can at least go ahead and say it while you're trying to find it.
Or you could do it while I'm trying to find it. But anyway.
Ever.
Anyway, Perkins described this movie in an interview as sort of like if Robert Zemeckis had just a little bit of acid and made a Stephen King picture about a monkey toy. Now, Robert Zemeckis, if you don't know, he did a lot of like famous big movies. We're talking like Forrest Gump, the Back to the Future movies, Castaway.
I had no idea that person did all of those.
He did all those movies. Now, he also did that recent Pinocchio that everyone hates.
Oh, that was good.
You know what I'm talking about? The Disney one with Tom Hanks.
Oh, that one. Yeah, no, I didn't like that one. I thought you were talking about the other one, but never mind. That's
Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, no, people like that one. But he did that one recently. So, this obviously is going to take that approach of like the not necessarily family friendly, but it's not. It sounds like it's not going to be like extreme. Oh, like how Long Legs seems like it's going to be intense and extreme. Mm-hmm. This seems like it's taking a slightly lighthearted approach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can see that. He also, what was the other movie he directed that I liked?
What else did he direct? Let me see. Oscar Perkins, because we had just talked about it recently too. Now I can't remember. Let me pull it up. Oh, Gretel and Hansel.
Oh, right.
That's what it was.
So maybe it'd be more like that. Like it's not like gory or super scary, but more like creepy, but still like you said, kind of like not family friendly, but it's not over the top.
Right? Yeah, it's not like super terrifying or anything like that. But yeah, again, y'all, The Monkey, a new Stephen King adaptation, and it's coming from Neon. Neon, they've been putting out a lot of like creative and dope hits. Like they're making, they were already a name, but I feel like they are growing and like getting more recognizable. Because I feel like there's a point in time where most people didn't really recognize them, and they're starting to build this catalog of having like a lot of dope films.
Yeah.
But that's exciting, y'all. The Monkey. Y'all let us know, how are you feeling about this new Stephen King adaptation? Is it a short story that you like from Stephen King? Let us know in the comments, y'all. All right, so we can jump into the next.
Well, you didn't cover the cast because I think the cast is.
I mentioned them at the top.
Not really.
Oh,
like for example, the little kid Christian Convery, he was in Sweet Tooth on Netflix. Mm-hmm. If anybody's watched that, that little kid's in there. Theo James, he was in Divergent. I don't think I've seen him in anything since then, but whatever. Elijah Woods from The Lord of the Rings.
Well, I mentioned their names. I just didn't say what they were from.
Well, yeah, because, you got to put a picture together. For me, it is anyway. Like, putting a picture together of these characters and what they'll be like. And Tatiana from the She-Hulk. So I'm interested in her because I personally haven't seen her anything, like, serious. Kind of like we were talking about with...
Because she was in one of them Netflix series or something like that. What was it, though? Because I just pulled her up earlier. I think it was like a Netflix series. Hold up. For Tatiana Maslany. Orphan Black. What was that on? I know that was a very popular show.
Oh, I don't know. I never seen that or heard of it.
I know I've heard of it. Orphan Black. I just don't remember what streaming platform was that on,
y'all? Mike said Neon is having their A24 glow up these past 2 years. They really are.
They are.
They coming out the woodworks with that.
I see it's on Prime, but I'm pretty sure it was a Netflix. I swear it was a Netflix. Pretty sure it was a Netflix.
Well, it said it was on there at some point. I don't know if it started out that way or not. Okay, well, I have never seen her in anything like.
Yeah, and I assume that I'm assuming she had a serious role in that. I've never seen, I've never seen Orphan Black, but she's got stuff like kind of going back. Obviously She-Hulk is the most recent thing I think a lot of people will recognize her from. And that show for a lot of people was a mixed bag. It had moments. I watched the show. It had moments in it. But Marvel has slowly been falling off a little bit, and I feel like this is one of those ones where it was headed down and just kept going down.
It's unfortunate.
But as the character, though, I thought she was fine. I thought she was fine as She-Hulk. Like, I didn't really have any issues with it. But speaking of Tatiana Maslany, she's in the topic of our next story, y'all, that we want to talk about, and that is this new film that's coming out called The Night Beast. TV series, because it said it was a pilot. It's a TV series for Amazon MGM Studios, and this is super interesting. Now, you want to mention that you thought it was funny because it's like a book you just read or something like that?
Yeah.
But let me read you the synopsis, and then I'll let you talk about it. So the synopsis for the show called The Night Beast reads: a young mother unsatisfied with her seemingly perfect suburban life begins an affair with the boogeyman in her son's closet, a surprisingly sexy man called the Night Beast. But this harmless affair she thought to be a figment of her imagination begins to have unexpected consequences as her two worlds increasingly begin to collide in this seductive, darkly comedic tale.
That's so crazy. But it does. It sounds almost exactly to a T, except for the fact that this person wasn't a mother, but it was called My Demon Boyfriend, and she summoned a demon by accident, and they had a love thing, but she thought it was in her mind. She didn't think it was real. So it's almost exactly like that.
Okay. Now you mentioned that it's being created by Leah Rachel and Trevor Jackson, writers for Chambers and Hemlock Grove, and then Jamie Babbitt is directing, who did Only Murders in the Building, which is a show I know a lot of people like.
They do, yeah. I think they're coming up on their 4th season.
But this will be interesting. They're calling it a seductive, darkly comedic tale. It sounds like it's going to be comedy focused.
I mean, it has to be, right?
I mean, they could get serious.
Having an affair with the boogeyman, I feel like that's horror comedy.
Yeah, but I feel like people like you wanted to get a little spicy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they can still have spice and be funny.
With her getting spicy with the Night Beast. You know what I mean? But this is creative. I think it's an interesting concept. I haven't heard anything like this, but I don't really read books and stuff. I just be watching movies and shit.
Right.
But y'all let us know. Well, how are y'all feeling about this new show called Night Beast? I don't think they put out a release date.
They didn't
on here, but
the Evil said the Night Beast sounds like an erotic thriller. So yeah, it does.
It does. It do sound like
what's gonna be going on in this one?
Yeah. There's definitely some after dark shit.
Right.
Almost like some Skinamax shit, but. But y'all let us know how are you feeling about this Night Beast show. Again, they are, I guess, in pre-production for this pilot. They got some good people attached to it, so maybe it will end up being good.
Like I said, I'm here for some monster smut. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Hey.
I think it's become a lot more popular in recent couple years than before. So I think it's interesting that it's making its way onto screens and not just books. So
yeah, because I mean,
we've had some monster smut, like that one weird one, though, with the girl and the alien-looking creature in the water.
Oh, you're talking about The Shape of Water.
The Shape of Water.
Yeah.
That was more like...
Her and that fish dude they was putting in work.
And you had that one... well, these are both alien creatures then. Splice or whatever. It was brief, but I know that wasn't the focus of it.
Oh, well, I think... Was that alien creature, or did they, make a creature?
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
But, yeah, and he was married too. He was just couldn't resist. Just effing this creation or whatever.
The Evils, I agree, Mike. We need a new era of smut on Netflix and other streaming service. Yeah, I think it's time. I think it's time now.
But it's funny though, because I think we talked about this once before, but it's interesting that I feel like back in the 80s and 90s, there's a lot more sex in movies and shows and stuff, and I feel like nowadays that is way lighter than it used to be. I mean, there's certain shows on certain streaming platforms where they do a lot more, But in terms of like mainstream, especially on like movie screens,
Yeah.
it's not. This shit ain't really
It's not.
present like that. I'd be kind of surprised.
It's about to hit it back.
Because like back in the day, that shit was they got crazy. You know what I'm saying? They did weird shit.
Mike also mentioned Mimic 2. Have you seen that one?
Oh, Mimic. Yeah.
I don't remember it.
Yeah, Species and shit like that.
Yeah.
There was that one that Scarlett Johansson one, Under the Skin.
You gonna remember that, ain't you? You love some damn Scarlett Johansson.
I brought it up on purpose.
No, you didn't. Whatever.
And then, hey, look, we gotta throw out an honorable mention to Possession, the '80s film, because
oh yeah, that was some monster.
That's another
smut.
like monster smut, and that shit was crazy. But yeah, y'all let us know what other monster smut type of movies y'all be watching. Drop that stuff in the comments. But hey, look, now the next topic we want to talk about, and we talked about at the beginning, it was about Blade, and who was hating on Blade?
Your time, King Nikki TV. It's your time.
It's her time. But look, let's talk about this Blade, y'all. So, the Hollywood Reporter actually put out kind of this like deep
expose,
deep expose talking about this whole shit with Blade, and the title of the article was "Why Blade Can't Cut Through Development Hell," and they went into a lot of different things. They talked about just Mahershala Ali being like a lot of people being frustrated, Ali especially being frustrated because he's been attached to this project since 2019.
Yeah,
it's been 5 years, y'all. And this movie still is not even in production. Is just crazy. They also talked about just the timeline of directors and writers. Now, also in this, they mentioned Ali in conversation to some journalists, or I don't know where the quote came from, but they mentioned that Ali was envisioning this film as being like his Black Panther, and being that that cultural moment like Black Panther was, but for Blade. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, hearing stuff like that, you're just like, fuck, like this. We really wanted this movie.
Yeah.
But it just can't escape the development hell. And there was different quotes in the article. They talked about, where, Marvel at that point in time, they had a lot of different things going on. They were putting out a lot of TV shows, a lot of movies. And so one of the things they were saying was just like, and I quote them saying, there wasn't enough attention paid to it. They just had so much stuff going on that there wasn't that additional oversight of being like, hey, let's make sure this is in order. Mm-hmm. And it even mentioned that Mahershala Ali actually had handpicked certain writers and directors, like Yan DeMange, I think, was one they actually picked. And even one of the writers, Nick Pizzolatto, was one that Ali picked to take a stab at this script. Which I thought, I was like, wow, that's interesting. But, he worked with him, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, he knows him.
And he probably really liked the work he did on True Detective with the show that he was in. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Which that season was super fire. I did like that. But they also talked about in this article, now this is stuff I didn't even know, which was what previous versions of this film were about. Mm-hmm. So one, I didn't even know Mia Goth was set to star in this, but apparently at one point this is going to be sort of like a period piece type of film. And so the article mentions one of the old plot details was that this movie was going to be set in the 1920s, and Mia Goth, who is apparently still attached to star in this movie, was going to play a vampire villain named Lilith, who wanted Blade's daughter for her blood. And I was like, damn, that is very interesting. I'm sure you wouldn't have been too excited because it's Mia Goth playing the villain. But I like that. I like that idea though.
Yeah.
Because, and here's why I like that though, because when you make the first Blade film, right, before he is going to be part of Avengers or in some sort of team up movie, you have the opportunity to like set this shit wherever you want and make it really unique and special. So I think it would have been kind of cool to set it back in time, because then you just could have focused on him. There wouldn't be like are we going to see so-and-so? Like, it's just focused on his story, and then you can have fun with it before he does a team-up movie. It's going to be in the present day. But I actually really did like that concept. And they even mentioned at one point in this article too that they had built this like massive train set. Yeah. For the film,
and then
that just never, obviously it never got used, and now they're like, well, we might use that in a different film now. Yeah. But apparently the current take on this movie is that it will be set in the present day. So they've jumped from being in the 1920s to now present day.
And we got another update. I forgot to add it. That, and me and Nikki, we talked about this yesterday. What's the other guy? You can Google it real quick. The other actor that was gonna be in the movie, he's no longer in it. If you could just Google Blade update, I can't remember his name right now. Nikki was like, why not something original for him to have his Black Panther moment? I feel you on that. Like, why Blade? But he himself is actually the one that made the call to Marvel. He's the one that wanted this. I'm not sure why. Like, what was it about Blade? But he's the one that picked this movie to reboot, and he wanted to be a part of it.
I can't find that info.
And she said, I do not want Blade in Avengers.
I ain't gonna lie, I do. Because that would just allow us to get more of the character. So I'm cool with him being in every team up, because then I just get him on screen more.
Hit the top one.
Here we go.
Mike said, I feel like anything that Mia Goth is cast for, we can replace with Anya Taylor-Joy, and I'd be just as happy, to be honest. You know what? I like her. I really like her. There you go. Del Rolando. Yeah.
He exited the project after the strikes.
Yeah. But that wasn't like full news. But on one of the recent articles I read, they said that he had, bowed out a while ago, but it hadn't been reported. But yeah, Del Rolando is no longer attached to the project. So it's really literally just, and they've lost other actors prior to that. So, I mean, it's just like, and I wonder if it has to do with Marvel. Because I feel like anytime you hear about like projects like, what's the one with all the women in it that we didn't like? The Marvels. Mm-hmm. And other movies, like they talk about how hard it is to work with them. Like the people who are on like the production, like behind the scenes type stuff. Okay. And I wonder if these people, like these writers and directors, are having a hard time working with these executives and stuff like that.
Well, I know also in this Hollywood Reporter article that they also mentioned that, Ali mentioned that some of the directors and people that they had originally picked to help with this movie, he felt like didn't have the chops to work in a big studio setting. Because I know sometimes
the ones
Marvel,
that they picked.
Yeah, the ones I'm saying, the ones that they picked, he didn't like those picks. Right. Because I know Marvel sometimes will go and get people who have done smaller movies and like bring them over to do these bigger ones. I think John Watts was one who did the Spider-Man, but I mean, it actually turned out really good. Same thing with Scott Derrickson, I think, because he did Doctor Strange, and I think that might have been his first like super mega Hollywood movie in terms of like the scale. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, like this.
I wonder who these people were, because I wonder if he was looking at it as, oh, y'all are not trying to put forth the same effort into this as you would like Deadpool and Wolverine type of thing.
I mean, I don't know. I think the issue is they probably just didn't find the right people who really care about the character in a way where they could craft like a really good story. Yeah. Because, I mean, there had to be somebody out there who is a fan of Blade, who makes movies, and could have helped create something.
It's so crazy to me. Like, I feel like Blade was so iconic, right? Like, who wouldn't want to make a Blade movie? I don't get that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, well, that's why they were trying to do it, right? Because, like, they know that what's one thing we've always learned? The black audience will show up and support a movie, right? They will show up. Like, they supported Black Panther. Yeah. Oh, right? Yeah. So they, for one, they understand that aspect of this will be like a massive, cultural hit. And then two, Blade's just a fire character. So like, and they know across the board people will be hyped to see his involvement. He had that. There's even that small tease at the end of the Eternals where you hear Mahershala Ali's voice off screen as Blade talking about it was about like a weapon or something. He says something to the character that's on screen. It's been a while since I've seen it. But people got hyped for that. Yeah. Like, oh shit, man, Blade. You know what I'm saying? Because Blade is a dope character. They even got that game coming out from Bethesda. That features Blade, because Blade's just it's a dope character, and it adds something different to the Marvel universe, the Marvel Cinematic Universe that we have right now, having like vampires and all that type of shit. Like, this is different, and it adds a new element, a new dynamic. Like I said, I want to see this movie come out. Yeah. 'Cause I think Mahershala Ali would just make a fire Blade.
I think he would too. Yeah. I feel like he called it right. Like, I feel like he can definitely play that character.
He was meant to do it. This shit gonna be tough.
Like you said, Blade in Adventure sounds like a watered down version of him.
Well, that's why he's gonna get his own movie. it's gonna be his own movie would be R-rated. I think they even mentioned that before, that they were gonna do R-rated Blade.
Mm-hmm.
So in his own movie, he can put in that work, and just fuck shit up, do all the crazy stuff. And then obviously when he was his team up, maybe he won't be able to say certain stuff.
What she's saying, because the Avengers are like it's catered to everyone across the board, but really it's still younger people, and so like to get him in his element, he would be sort of watered down along with the Avengers.
Yeah,
but him separately, yes, he can definitely.
Because I want him to be in those. Because see, for me, I want him to be in them fights where he fighting the big bads. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about Infinity War and Endgame, like the level of those fights, and those fights were fire. Mm-hmm. Like when Doctor Strange and them were fighting him, Thanos on like Titan or whatever that planet was called.
I barely remember this movie.
That shit was so like I would literally look that fight up on YouTube and be like, this shit is just so hard.
That's weird.
You know what I'm saying?
Mike said as long as it's not like Morbius. I didn't see that one, but
Morbius is bad. Yeah, that movie was rough. And that's why it got memed to hell. But it's unfortunate because I feel like if they had better people behind it, I think Morbius could have done better. Mm-hmm. I think it had that potential because it had good people attached to it. Shit had the what's his name? It had the dude. It had Damon. What's that dude's name?
Damon.
From
House
of Dragon.
House of
He
Dragon.
was the villain.
Yeah.
Okay. What's his name? Matt Smith. Is that
Matt Smith? Yeah, that's his name.
Like that dude was a villain. Like you know what I'm saying? Like he got the chops.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of the people writing and editing that movie. It was just.
Yeah, Mike said he would be watered down because the Avengers are cookie cutters.
Man, I didn't know y'all didn't like the Avengers like that.
I mean, I just feel like they're like like Superman types. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not.
Man, y'all remember how fire Black Panther was in Civil War and Avengers?
Yes, Black Panther was.
Man, that shit was so hard. Man, remember in pretty sure it was in Infinity War when I always bring the scene up. Okay. Remember when they went to go fight in Wakanda and the army was coming and fucking Black Panther and Captain America was in front of everybody running fast as fuck because they superhumans, right? They was running fast as hell in front of everybody, and then Black Panther jumped up and they put this on the Marvel Studio background because they knew the shit was fire. On the logo when they show Black Panther and he hits the ground, boom, and that big explosion happens and it wipes out all the monsters. Yeah, I want shit like that, but for Blade.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Nikki said, "Can Blade say motherfucker in Avengers?"
Nah, you can't say that.
No, exactly.
That's a his movie only. But you're right though. We do need that. I'm cool with him being censored when he goes into Avengers mode. Yeah. But they got to have that type of shit in his movie, which is why it's going to be R-rated. Right. Because you got to have a little bit of the Wesley Snipes flavor. Yeah. Because what was it? Was it Blade 2 or Blade 3? When they had that dude pinned up on the car, and he's they'll kill me. Motherfucker, I'll kill you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need that type of shit in Blade.
And Nikki said, she liked Morbius. She said, I'm on the island by myself.
You like Morbius? Now, I mean, like, they had moments where, like, some of the coolness shone through, but I feel like overall, like, it was rough.
Like I said, Blade doesn't like people. He's not a team player. He wouldn't fit Avengers vibe. Him and Captain America would be so awkward.
Well, I mean, that'll add just more character to the movie.
He's gonna fight this to the devil, y'all.
Like when people aren't team players. Like remember in Civil War when they was trying to chase down Bucky because he desperately wanted Bucky to be on the team and like try to fix him. Yes. It was such a Civil War is probably one of the hardest Marvel movies, and that was a team up movie.
Y'all obviously, this man started.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Like there was that dynamic of like we're trying to like work with this dude even though he'd done a lot of fucked up shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? It adds personality to it. Blade can bring personality to the event, to the Avengers.
Charles, the Evil said Blade versus Deadpool would be a wild scene if not for an entire film.
Come on. That shit would be so fire. And Deadpool would bring all the quips, make it funny. Yeah. And Blade would bring his quips and they would get the sword fighting and shit. Man, that would be tough.
Like said, this is your believer moment.
That's pretty good, Mike. That's pretty good. But I feel like a lot of people agree with me, though. I feel like most people hate believer, but a lot of people I feel like agree. Hey, the Avengers is hard. The Avengers is tough, man. That's why people want this shit to happen. They want this Blade shit to happen.
Nikki just agreeing that Blade works alone. He just needs somebody to make the weapons.
I agree. Blade do like to work alone, so I don't disagree with that. But I think it will add a cool dynamic to the shit because they're gonna need him. And I think at the end of the day, he's got the anti-hero vibes, right? So like he understands that he's trying to help people. So once shit is like popping off, he's gonna team up, even though he might not want to. He gonna work through it.
Nikki said, "Just give up. We don't want Avengers ruining Blade."
All right. Well, we're gonna keep our fingers crossed. This movie's still gonna happen before Mahershala
we
get too old.
your juju, Nikki.
Because we can't have Mahershala being old as hell. He can't move the same.
You know what? Someone else brought that fact up that he's 50.
Yeah.
He's 50 years old. He look good for 50 now. That black don't crack now.
It don't.
But he's 50 years old. And I think in the last Blade, Wesley Snipes was 42. I think he was like 42.
Yeah.
And so they're like, we can't wait too much longer
because
we need Mahershala Ali to be still good. You know what I'm saying? So.
And he used to make it happen. I've seen plenty 60, 70-year-olds still, whoop ass on the screen. But
I just want him to be in his prime.
Right, yeah. We need him to remain in the prime. Hey, but look, y'all, we talked a lot about Blade.
Sorry about that.
We'll go ahead and kick it over to the next topic. But
what? He said if Harrison Ford could be in Tomb Raider and Blade, that Ali can make it work. Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah.
But he won't doing no stunts in that way.
Well, yeah, I think he did get injured though. I think Harrison Ford did get injured on that movie.
Oh,
and
wow.
that last Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
He was doing something. He got hurt. So you gotta be careful when you get old now. Trying to do all these stunts. But for our viewers and listeners, let us know. Do you still want this Blade movie to happen? I know it's gone through development hell. It makes me nervous that it's gone through so much development hell that we won't be able to get a good product. But I still have hope. Let us know in the comments. Do you still have hope? And what do you think they could do to make this thing work? Let's go ahead and jump into the next story, y'all. And this is all about a movie that I know will be fire. And that's Alien Romulus. I know this shit gonna go stupid. So Fede Alvarez was recently, he's on his press tour doing interviews, different things like that. I don't know who he was talking with, but he was speaking about visual effects in his films, and specifically he was saying that there's no green screen in Alien Romulus, and that one is believable because you watch that trailer, those sets feel real. And in this, it was a post that someone posted on Twitter, just like a clip of it. But he was saying, and let me get it up here. Oh, you don't have the quote on here. Let me read you the quote exactly what Alvarez said. He said in that quote, "If it can be done practical, it will be done practical. It's almost like a play. Most things are real. The set's there. There's no green screen. I don't want to see green screens. That whole set, you've seen that shot where they come out of the airlock. It's all real. Everything you see, that set, you could have got lost inside of it." Now, Alvarez also said in that video, talking about Hollywood's use of CG, he said, "Hollywood can be sometimes very lazy. When they do CG, it's not because it's cheaper, because it's not. It's actually more expensive. It's just quicker. It saves you headache on set." So I thought this was just dope.
I like if you have time, go to Film the Updates Twitter and find this video and watch it. I just love to hear Fede Alvarez talk. But when he was talking about the fact that he's like, if I'm creating I want to see the monster. Mm-hmm. He was like, I don't want to be like, okay, action, and then nothing's happening. I'm just looking at a door. It's like
the monster is right there in front of you, but it's not really there.
Yeah. It's like, I don't want to do that. Yep. I want to actually see the monster, see their reactions to the monster. And I just thought that was really dope. I get why people use CGI, right? Like he's saying, you want to get the movie done a lot faster. Mm-hmm. But I like the fact that he's like, nah, we're not taking no shortcuts. I want you to see exactly what what y'all see. You know what I'm saying? So
yep. Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
And that's cool because I feel like that is a lost art in current films. That's one cool thing that is with a lot of indie horror is they tend to favor the practical use.
Yes, exactly.
Even when we watch Frogman, that's a very indie, low budget movie, and they use a lot of cool practical effects. There's just something special when you do practical because the actors can really interact with what's going on with the environment, with the set, with the creatures. Yeah. So it's cool that Fede Alvarez is keeping that side of Hollywood alive by doing full practical sets, full creatures. He worked with the original VFX artists that did the original Aliens creature designs. He's working with those same people. I think it's dope. That's dope. He's trying to make it feel all real. There's this iconic picture of I think it's Ian McKellen sitting on the set of the Hobbit movie. Mm-hmm. And and it's like nothing but a shitload of green screen. There's nothing around him, and he just looks super pitiful. He's like, wow, this is what cinema is now. It's just all effects. There's nothing in front of him. He's just sitting there by himself. I think he's like talking to himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was just almost, and the image was like real sad to see because it was just like, damn, like that magical element of like, that is really there. It feels real. Is gone. So Fede Alvarez keeping it alive. He said what he said. He's no green screen now. Now be clear. He didn't say no CG.
He didn't say that.
He just said no green screen. Meaning that the environments, the set is real. Like they are actually on that set.
I'm glad you made that point because I actually saw a Reddit post about this topic. And I think at some point he did say there was no CGI or barely any CGI when he did Evil Dead. Was it Evil Dead? I was telling you about Evil Dead. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people were like, oh, you're lying. It's a lie. It's clearly got CGI in this movie.
Right.
So that's a good distinction. He didn't say there is no CGI because a lot of people are like,
green screen.
We're not believing him this time. But he didn't say that. He just said there was no use of green screen and that they built these sets and stuff like that. So
right, that's the key there. There's no green screen, and that's so dope. And that's why the trailer looks so good. Yeah, because those sets are real. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. The lighting is hitting those sets like how it's supposed to. And one thing that he said, if you watch that clip, go check out that clip. There's more that he said, but he mentioned something in there about he was like, you know, in real life, when you take a picture of something, you try to capture that moment, and then you go show it to a friend, like, oh yeah, we went here, like look at this, and then he said like typically somebody will make a comment of the picture's not doing it justice, like if you were there, like you know what I'm saying. So he's like, when he makes a movie, he tries to capture that and be like, I'm gonna try to make you feel like you are there. So that's why I need real sets and real props and things like that. So like, as a viewer, when you're watching it, it's like, damn, that's a real place. It's a real thing, and it's as if I was there. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought it was just dope how he articulated it way better than what I said it. So check out that the Alvarez interview over on Film Updates.
But yeah, Nikki was just saying that this is one of her most anticipated.
Oh yeah,
and that she loves directors who have a passion and not just a cash grab. Yeah, I agree with that. And yeah,
Fede Alvarez is definitely like one of the passionate creators. Like, and again, I agree. I'm super hyped for this movie. I know it's gonna be fire. I've enjoyed all of Fede Alvarez's other films, and we were just talking about we were live on TikTok yesterday for a little bit. And we were talking about remakes, and I brought up the Evil Dead remake, and I was like, honestly, at least for us, we like that better than the original, and mainly because it doesn't have that comedic layer, like you know, because we're not as biggest fans about that like horror comedy slapstick style. Like I think it's okay. You gotta be in the mood for it.
You gotta be in the mood for it.
Evil Dead was a fire remake. But y'all let us know, how excited are you for to our viewers and listeners? How excited are you for Alien Romulus? Drop down in the comments. You know, what do you think about this news about no green screen? Does that get you hyped for more practical? And let us know your theories for Alien Romulus, because it is set in that universe. I just want to see what y'all think will happen in that film. So with that, we'll go ahead and jump into our last topic that we wanted to talk about here. And this is for a video game, y'all. So this is for a video game called A Quiet Place: The Road Ahead. So A Quiet Place is getting a game, and that honestly is I was not expecting that. I was like, when this trailer had dropped, I was like, wait, like A Quiet Place, like how's that even going to work?
Yeah.
But this game is being made by Saber Interactive. They're doing that new Space Marine 2 game, and they're also coming out with that Jurassic Park game,
which I'm hyped for.
I think they showed that last year.
They
did. Where it's like an action adventure. You know, you're running away from the dinosaurs and the T-Rex. They have some cool gameplay elements. But those same people are making this game, and it's supposed to come out this year. And then I'll just read to you some of the stuff they said about this game. And it reads, experience the journey of a young woman struggling to endure not only the nightmarish creatures of the apocalypse, but also the anguish of interpersonal family conflicts and her own inner fears. With nothing more than your wits and the simple tools you can scavenge, you'll have to overcome the many treacherous challenges and obstacles that lay ahead, all while trying to survive an ever-present threat of the unknown enemies. Just don't make a sound. So yeah, they have some screenshots, and it looked you know fairly close to what you're seeing from this trailer right here, where you got, I guess you're gonna be using devices to show how loud you're being with the sounds that you're making. It looks like they said that you're gonna be getting stalked by the creatures from the film, and you gotta use distractions You know, I was playing this new horror game called Still Wakes the Deep. I played it on stream, so go on YouTube if you want to see it. I haven't finished it yet, but you had to use objects to like throw and distract the creature so you can like maneuver. I'm assuming it's gonna be something like that with this game. But I just hope they make it good. I feel like traditionally, I know I kind of messed that up a little bit. Traditionally, movie. Now you got me repeating this shit. Stuck on it.
Sorry, right.
But typically, how about that? I'm gonna say typically. Typically, I feel like movie games aren't usually good.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that this will be a game that's good. And it is a single player game. It's not like multiplayer like Texas Chainsaw or Dead by Daylight or the Friday the 13th game. This is a single player adventure survival horror type game in first person, just like how that trailer showed. And over on the IGN article, if you go and you look on IGN, they did post actual like game screenshots. You can see this one I got on the screen right now. Like the game, you know, visually looks good. I'm just hoping that the gimmicks of trying to avoid being detected by the creature like play well, and it's still a fun game to play. But I'm always up for more survival horror. You know, we play games like Outlast and stuff like that are really fun. So I'm definitely on board with it. It doesn't look like this is one of those games where you got weapons. So it's in the same vein as like an Outlast where you like, look, all you can do is run. You can't fight back. Or like Alien Isolation. You can't really fight back. You can just run. You can maybe like, you know, push it off of you a little bit. Right. Startle it. You can't kill it though. You just got to keep running. But I'm excited to see, you know, if this game will be good or not. Again, it comes out this year. I don't think we got, I'm going to check real quick because I don't know if we got like a hard release date on this. It is said 2024, right?
Yeah. That's about the movie, what you're reading right now. It's just at the top right there.
Yeah, it just says 2024. That's weird. I think it's weird to, you know,
especially since it's June.
Yeah, and you don't got the date
well,
yet.
Maybe it'll be like, you know, because I feel like, you know, don't y'all have like a lot of games come out in these December time?
Yeah, typically in the fall, like especially right before like Black Friday and stuff like that.
So maybe it'll be a fall release.
They'll drop it. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's fall release.
Mike said he's gonna dust off his PS5. What do you mean dust it off? You don't play? I thought you played games for some reason.
Well,
it's gonna be on PC, Xbox,
and PS4.
And, yeah,
it's on everything. So whatever you got, you can play it. You can play it on there. But yeah, dust off that PS5, man. Especially you got the 5. There's a lot of dope games coming out this year. If you watch some of the Summer Game Fest shit, there's a ton of games coming out. There's gonna be fire.
A lot of stuff coming out.
There's a crazy amount of games. But y'all let us know to our viewers and listeners in the comments, how are you feeling about this game, A Quiet Place: The Road Ahead? What other movie games do you like? Do you think this game's got potential? Drop down in the comments how you feeling about it. How'd you like the trailer? And then are you excited for the film, A Quiet Place Day 1?
Yes.
And with that is our last story. So I don't know if you want to jump into anything else, bro.
No, that's it.
Yeah, so that's our last story, y'all. One thing I did want to plug is that on Wednesday, we set it on 5 p.m., right?
Yes.
Pacific.
Wednesday, yes.
Yeah, so on Wednesday this week at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, we're going to do a Cabin in the Woods watch-along, y'all. It's going to be streamed right here on YouTube, so make sure you're subscribed so you say ready for that. And Cabin in the Woods, that's on, what did we say it's on? Is that on Peacock?
I forgot.
I can try to look that up real quick. I'm pretty sure that you can find that movie on Peacock. Let me check real quick, y'all. So I'm giving y'all the right info. Yeah, it was on Peacock. Yeah. So if you got a Peacock subscription, you can watch The Cabin in the Woods on there. But that's going to be our watch-along film. That's one of our summer watch-alongs that we're going to do. Now, we actually did a poll over on YouTube, and where else did we do it?
Twitter.
On Twitter. We listed out a bunch of like summer-themed horror movies, and The Cabin in the Woods won as the choice for the watch-along. So, again, Cabin in the Woods watch-along this Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Get that Peacock subscription ready, or if you already own it, get the Blu-ray, the DVD ready. And then it's also available for rent, typically like Amazon Prime. So we're gonna do that this Wednesday. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited for this. I actually haven't watched this in a while.
A long time.
I remember it being a lot of fun. I still remember the premise and how it ends, and I still remember that feeling when I first saw it. I was like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, this shit is crazy. But if you've never seen it, join us for that because it's a good time. But with that, I mean, that's pretty much it. Anything else you want to add, babe?
This is the last point down there.
Oh, you want to cover this?
Oh, well, I guess so. So I know sometimes like I miss stuff. I'm the one who collects all the news topics that we cover each week. So if there's any news stories that you see while you're on Twitter or Instagram or whatever, send them to me so we can cover them. Like if you want to hear our feedback or thoughts about a particular topic like that you're interested in that we don't get to, just send it to us and we'll definitely take a look at it and cover it on our next new show. And we'll shout you out, obviously.
Yeah, we'll definitely shout y'all out. But yeah, that concludes this live stream talking about all the horror news from the past week. Again, we'll be back here same time next week, which is 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. We go live on Sundays, y'all, talking about all the horror news that drop. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're following us. Thanks for tuning into this whole stream.
You.
If you're watching it with us live, thank you to our live viewers who put in some dope comments and drop some knowledge, and it just made it fun, having a dope conversation. We love interacting with y'all. And to our viewers that are watching it on the replay, if you want to interact, make sure you join us live. But thank you for tuning in on the replay and drop your comments down below. And to our audio listeners over on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, thank you for listening on the podcast platform. We appreciate you as well. If you're on Spotify, you can actually go in there and use the Q&A section to provide your thoughts on there as well. Again, hey, we have fun with y'all. We appreciate y'all. Make sure you like, make sure you share it, comment, make sure you subscribe to tune into all things horror. We're going to see you on the next one. We out. Peace.